idea, or might just want to work for themselves, and we help them to develop that idea, and we bring in all the aspects that they might need to start up a business, and we hope that at the end of the programme, they're ready with a business plan to start up a business, as Craig was, because Craig came through the Business Sparks programme. Oh. Okay, so when you're starting up a business, the business comes, you start with an idea. So it could be a very small idea that ends up being something like Virgin, and you might be a millionaire like Richard Branson. It just could come from one small idea that you might have. And as Craig will tell you, lots of the things that you need to help develop that idea into a successful business, you need a lot of motivation and commitment, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work. You also need to look at how you're going to fund your business. So is it a very cheap business that's very easy to start up with just a little bit of money, or do you need to go and find people to invest in your business so you can afford to keep it going? And it's not just put there with entrepreneurs, so your likes of Richard Branson, they often have lots of ideas. So they might try lots of different types of businesses and see which ones make lots of money, and then if they're successful in one of those businesses, they can start setting up lots of different businesses. Okay? So in order to start up a business, and again, Craig's gone through this himself, you've really got to look at your market research. What's your product or service? Who are you going to sell it to? Is anyone going to be interested in buying it? So you need to think about things like who's going to pay for your business and how much you should pay them. Who else is offering the same business or service, and what do they charge? Looking at how you're going to get out to your market, how you're going to advertise your business. Are you going to have an advert in the newspaper? Are you going to go on the radio and tell people about it? You're going to have flyers, like our Business Sparks flyers that are on the table. Okay, so, and also things looking at where is the best place to set up your business. Can you set it up from your bedroom with your computer, or do you need to be in a city centre office where people can come and see you? Okay, so again, this slide is showing that it takes a lot of planning, and action planning, to get a business going. So your who, what, when, where, how, all of those things you have to give a lot of consideration to. And you've got to look at what opportunities are already existing out there. So Craig's business, it's quite unique, isn't it, Craig? So there's not lots of other people doing it, so he's got a bit of a gap in the market there. So it's looking at things like that, making sure that you've got all the resources you need. And one of the things we're going to be talking about this afternoon is what resources are there to help you set up a business where you live. In Newcastle, there's quite a few things going on in schools, Business Sparks, a lot of the work that Monja does around helping people start a business. So we'd like to know what goes on where you live as well. Okay, so these are 5 steps to start up your own business. Okay, so we begin with your idea that we've already mentioned, your choice that you're going to start this business, and how you're going to go about it. You've got all your planning, and then all the actions that you need to do as a result of your planning. And then you've got all the pieces, putting all the pieces in the puzzle together to make your business a success. Ignite the spark of your business and watch the flame grow. I like that. That was nice. Okay, so, and this is just a little bit about the programme we run, Business Sparks. Because we know that for young people it's hard to start a business, especially if you're maybe at school or college, you've got other things going on in your life. So what we do is we help you with one-to-one. So you'll sit down with Monje or me or somebody else. We'll help talk through your strengths and your weaknesses and your business planning. But we also do group workshops. So lots of young people coming together and discussing their business ideas and looking at how they can come at their business from different angles and who they're going to market their business to. We also have helped with giving people small business grants to help start up their business. So it might be that you need a particular piece of computer software if you're going to do some design work. So we help people buy lots of bits and pieces like that. We've also had people who already run their own business come and work with the young people who are thinking about setting up a business, so they can help learn from their experience and they can give them ideas as well. We're based in a business centre in Newcastle, so we're able to offer people space as well to come and run their business, to use computers, use the telephone, so we've got a base. And one of the other things that we've done, and that I think went down quite nicely, was we had a celebration event at the end of our programme, so that all of our young businesses could come together and show a large group of people what their business was and try and get other people interested in their business. We've got some photos of that later on to show you as well. Is that the last one there? Okay, brilliant. So in terms of what else this Newcastle has to offer for young people in business, I mentioned before that the council actually have organised business and enterprise support work in schools. I'm going to hand over to Monda and ask Monda to talk a little bit about this, because I know that he's been involved in some ways in business and young people, and he actually comes from the Youth Enterprise Hub in Newcastle as well.
So just like Hannah was saying, really, we run a programme called the Youth Enterprise Hub, and we offer the support that we've talked about here. Some of the things that you would have seen in the PowerPoint is stuff like one-to-one. So we've identified by speaking to young people and working with young people that they want support, where they can get some just one-to-one support, real support, talking about their own business rather than in general. So we'll support them individually regarding their own business idea. Office space or desk space we offer, and that's because people have said some people can work from home, some people want some space outside of their home, and they need to get some space to think about and get access to a phone, broadband or printing and stationery material. So again, it's an opportunity for us to encourage or support them in making that move to setting up their business. And what Hannah was saying is there is some programs now, it's quite a new thing, where the councils are supporting the schools to work with young people about enterprising activities. Put your hands up if in your school, when you were at school, if you're not there anymore, that there is support to set up your own business. Anybody here had support or knows that there is support? Don't be shy, if there's one, that's good. It means we're getting to there's two, brilliant, thanks Lucy. And what about in maybe some of the other countries? Do you ever get support in your own country, in schools, to set up businesses? It's something that if I asked the same question about 2 years ago to anybody in Newcastle, most likely wouldn't have got any hands up actually. So that's an interesting fact that I've got at least 2 or 3 hands that have gone up already, because it is a new move for the council and the education service to think that's where we've got to start. We've got to help people and young people think about these ideas and support some of these ideas from then. One of the things that we'll discuss in one of the sessions tomorrow, I think, is about unemployment and young people not getting or finding it difficult to get jobs after going through school, college, universities, and there still isn't enough jobs available. So again, self-employment is one of the ways of possibly challenging or overcoming that problem, and it could again help you get experience. What we often get, some people setting up business with us, they'll say that I've been trying to find a job, but I don't have enough work experience, so I can't get the job. If I can't get the job, I can't get the work experience, so it's a catch-22. But if you're involved in setting up some of your businesses, then you get skills, whether it be communication, whether it be organising events, whether it be working with lots of different people in teamwork or cash handling or whatever it is really. And again, what we found is it's helped people get jobs because they've got experience. And what we often find is some people will set up a business and within 6 months or a year they might take a job up in that field and decide that they've got a job that pays well and that security, and they might take a break from their business and work for someone else or work for a company and then continue to do some of their own business stuff part-time, which we've often found with some of our entrepreneurs. Cool. So just about the schools programme, there is different levels or ranges of stuff, and this is ideas that we could often take back to our schools or to our countries. Or what you'll all realise by the end of the session, we need some recommendations to give to the adult international delegation who aren't here and are in another session, to tell them to take away these ideas and think, is there a way that they might be able to influence some of these ideas being implemented? So that could be you taking back to your country saying, actually, in the UK, young people are getting access to information about setting up their own businesses, and it is helping them identify employment or careers or challenge the fact that they're not finding a job at the end of their education. Is this something that we can take back to our countries and get the ball rolling? Like I said, it wasn't really very obvious or as strong of a movement in Newcastle or even in the UK up until a couple of years ago, and it's getting stronger every year. We're involved in a programme where Newcastle are supporting an enterprise programme in each school Leeds Secondary School in Newcastle, and I went to an event just recently where it was a bit of an exhibition, a bit of an event where lots of schools came and presented their ideas. So we've got an organisation, or a school, sorry, called Excelsior Academy in the West End of Newcastle, and they've set up a company called XL5, and they print mugs and t-shirts and bags, and they sell them to people in their school. They've actually taken a shop unit now in a new building called the Beacon, and they sell from outside of that space too to the public. They're setting up a website which we're working with them on. So again, it's about talking, getting experience, selling experience, not just talking about it and planning it like we might do now, but doing it actually and getting that experience in school. Cool. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Craig to come up now, and Craig's going to tell you a bit about his experience setting up a business in Newcastle as a young person.
Right, hello everybody. My name's Craig, and I'm going to tell you today a little bit about how I started my business and how I got along with it. Now, this all started because I didn't want to get a normal job. I didn't want to get a job where I was just sitting behind a desk or working in a shop. It's not how I wanted to go about it. All I wanted to do was practice free running and be happy. That's all I wanted. So I decided to start my own business in teaching and performing parkour and free running. And I call this business a pure free running. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what free running is, a couple of blank faces, free running is using creative movement to move around and through your environment, whether it be with flips, jumps, vaults, rolls, whatever you can think of. It's using your imagination and move, basically. Now, this all started when I got involved with the Urban Games in 2011. This event consisted of teaching workshops, putting on performances, competitions, and organising a gathering, inviting all of the free runners from around the northeast to this event for the day. This whole event went as a massive success, and from then on I started doing little events and festivals with the Urban Games, organising gatherings, teaching, and performing. So that was my first real step in starting up my business, getting lots of experience through working with Monja and the Urban Games. So a few months later, I got introduced to Hannah and the Business Box program. Now, for someone like me that's never done any business at school or at college, Business Box was exactly what I needed. They helped me in all the different aspects about setting up my own business. And without the support and guidance from Urban Games and Business Box, I would be nowhere near as far along with setting up my own business as I am today. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about a few of what we do. One of our main goals is to expand the free running community in the North East, to make more people aware of the sport and to get them involved in such a unique thing like free running. We also teach and perform free running whenever we can to showcase to the public to get them involved. We also teach a regular workshop once a week on a Monday night, which is tonight. We intend to achieve big things over the next few years, so look out for our name because we will be everywhere eventually. It's a fact. If anyone would like any more information about what we do, just feel free to ask. Or if you want to have a look at what we do, we have a Facebook page which is a pure free running. If you're interested in looking at it, I've got a few little cards you can have a look at. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. Now, we were going to, at this point, we had a second person who was going to come and tell you along about his business. But as Monja just mentioned, a lot of people who set up their own businesses and become very good at what they do then get offered jobs doing something else. And he's just been given a new job. So he couldn't be with us today because he's starting his new job today. Now, I know when Monja asked us, a couple of hands went up from Newcastle saying that they've got a bit of support around business in college or school. Would one of you mind saying a couple of words about that? All our eyes on you, Tom.
It wasn't me directly, but my friend Katie had helped starting up a business making clothes and like clothing line. I think she has one t-shirt now. I don't know who I might have been doing at college. She went through, but she probably knows more.
Me. Key fund. We've got key funded for Katie.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's Key Fund is something that we have in the North East and different parts of England where young people can access money to pretty much do anything they like. It's around doing an activity where you plan and learn skills around planning and developing. And so, yeah, a lot of young people can access money through Key Fund to help an enterprising idea or start a business. Thank you. We're going to move on now to our main exercise for the afternoon. What we'd like you to do is in each table, we'd like each individual to share a business idea. Now, it could be one that you make up on the spot, it could be one that you've been thinking about for a while, or it could just be one that you know of that's already happening where you live, so it might be quite a successful business, or it might be your friend is trying to start up a business. So any business idea, I want you to share in your group. And once you've all shared your idea, I want you to all pick one of those ideas that you're going to look at in a bit more depth. Okay, so for that first exercise, I'm just going to give you 5-10 minutes to start discussing some business ideas. And then rather than tell you everything now, I'll tell you the next bit of the exercise once you've done that. Okay, and there's a facilitator on each table that's got all of this information written down, so if you kind of forget what you're doing, then they'll be able to help you. So you've got about 5-10 minutes to share an idea.
City lights, eyes on the wall through another sleepless night. I just wanna be alone again. And I'm remembering I was a wreck when we met at the dollar store. I should have just made a run for the exit door. I was into you, but now I'm in too deep. I was over my head, but you said that I'm safer in your arms. I was over my head, so I fled to the comfort of your charms. I guess at the time you were so idealized. Now in the light of the day I realized I was into you, but now I'm in too deep. And I think that it is sad that I had to get tangled in the wires of your snare. It's sad that we had to evaporate and vanish in the air. And I don't care if you go, I don't care if you go, I don't care if you up and walk away and just leave me with a wave in the dark. I don't care if you go, I don't care if you go. And now I see that it never really mattered. It's just another chapter to close.
Our idea was called Unique Accessories. It's basically making things like bracelets, t-shirts, and just accessories, basically. And our three main things we thought that we need to start this business is we need support, because without support we can't get anywhere in the business. You don't have support from things like friends, family, and all those different areas. And we put funding/resources, because if you don't have the resources to make things like bracelets and beads, and the last one we put marketing, because without if you can't market your product, regardless of how much money you have and connections you think you have, if you don't know how to market something, it's not going to go anywhere. So they're the three most important things that you will work on. Our problems, especially in the accessory sort of business, would be competition, because there is so much competition in a market like that. Just getting your product out there is an important part. Lack of support, because same as the top, if you don't have support, it's going to be hard to go anywhere. And again, the resources, because if we don't have the resources, then we can't make it. We can't make our product. Okay guys, and that's us. Unique Accessories.
Bow tie business.
That's your idea.
But it's a unique business in that the material used, it's like African material or like unique material, so that it's got that little edge. Yeah, problems. Okay, well, our three main things that you need, we've got money, because you can't do anything without it. Marketing, because you need market research and then branding and then advertising and everything like that. So that's why, yeah. And then support, because you need the knowledge and you need the help if you come into a problem. 3 problems, lack of money, poor marketing, because like you could have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, you're not going to sell any. And production process, because if you've got a poor production process, you don't really have anything to sell. So, yeah.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Outline of the business plan.
Yeah, I'd like you to just give a little idea of what the business is, and then I just want you to tell us your top 3s from your 2 lists.
Okay, our idea was sort of reusable cups for festivals, basically. It came out of an idea from Tim, who so they sort of have the same thing in their country, but basically it's linked with the first session because it's very environmentally friendly to reuse these cups rather than producing a lot of waste for every festival, and it's also cheaper, hopefully, for the festivals themselves because they don't have to buy in quite so many plastic cups. Is that enough of the business? Shall I move on to our 3 thingies?
Yeah, please.
Great. So we actually decided that our 3 key areas were the same as our 3 key difficulties, because if you failed in your 3 key, they were the most important things to us. So quite simply, it was funding, which was support, which obviously is about money. The second one was support / knowledge, so just like how to write a business plan and getting help with that. And the third one was actually sort of marketing it to our customers and finding them, and that was it. And those are our 3 problems, whether we'd managed to do them or not.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much.
Start a magazine for like the youth and basically everyone in the Newcastle. So our things that you need is first of all funding and money, because if you don't have money you can't start a business. And second, advertising, because if no one's able to like understand and read your magazine, then you're not going to get readers, which is going to make no profit. And third is market research, so you can actually understand what like people in the city actually want to read about. So you're not just writing about a load of waffle that no one wants to read about. The barriers is to gain funding and to the competition. Because I know that in Newcastle there's lots of different like youth-centred magazines, so you want to be able to make ours like stand out and be more accessible through like the internet and different things. And also timing, because to run a magazine you need publishers, writers, photographers. So to have everyone at the same time being able to finish their work is going to be pretty difficult. So, yeah.
Great.